Welcome back, one and all, to the lovely, beautiful, scenic Marietta Ice Center here in Marietta, Georgia, for the first game of a two-game series, rather. The first game of a game series. First game of a two-game series.
You almost did it again,
I
Matt.
almost did it to myself. I played myself. Of a two-game series between the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the University of Alabama Huntsville. I believe they're the Chargers.
They are the Chargers. I did my research today, and they are the Chargers.
I will tell you what, Andrew, it's a beautiful, lovely, scenic day today here at the Marietta Ice Center, but for the audience watching at home, for at least a moment, you're going to have to take our word for it because our camera is currently out of commission. It should be up and running here within the first period, I should say.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. But if not, we'll be sure to let you know, and it'll definitely be fixed by the start of the second. So with me here by the play-by-play is Andrew Leonard, my trusty steed and brother.
I don't know if I like being referred to as a steed, but here's the hockey game anyway. Alabama Huntsville won the opening faceoff, and it was thrown immediately into Kennesaw zone for a 10-second icing. So it's going right back down to the Alabama Huntsville zone. I'm going to say Chargers. It's a lot shorter. Back down to the Charger zone for an offensive zone faceoff for for Kennesaw. Ian McDonald lining up in the circle for this one. Puck drops, and the Chargers come up with it. Thrown around the right side corner. Kennesaw is the first team to it. Berezinski's back, and it gets poked out to the stick of his Berezinski brother. Excuse
Andrew,
me.
Would you like me to take over?
Nah, there's too many Berezinskis on the ice.
Alrighty, my man.
Control back in KSU zone. This is Berezinski. Slowly thrown over the blue line. A bank pass off the wall to the stick of Ian McDonald. McDonald tried to play through to Testino, but it's controlled by the Chargers. The Chargers up the right side of the ice. A shot on goal is stopped in the pads of Luke Thurston.
And number 9 from University of Alabama Huntsville and John Testino already having some words. Perhaps they have some history. Perhaps it's brand new history. Point is, I don't think they like each other very much.
Was there not enough physicality in the Vanderbilt series? Good Lord.
I guess not, Andrew, but that's how we like it here.
Absolutely is. It's Drew Spicinski lining up for this faceoff. The Chargers win it once again. Thrown back to the left side point, a foot race for it. The Chargers come up with it, and a hard check in the corner there by Evan Deere. Evan Deere, back from a hit against Vanderbilt. He missed the second game of that series.
It's good to see him back, Andrew.
Absolutely, as Deere takes this one up the ice. Deere passed on over to Spicinski, just over his stick, and controlled in the corner by the Chargers. Bright coming in to try to play it, but it's still controlled by Alabama Huntsville, and a hard check to the board there by Drew Spicinski. Puck thrown to center ice for Evan Deere to control. Deere over the blue line on the far side. A centering pass for Spicinski is knocked out of the air by the Chargers and controlled by Bright. Bright dumps it around the corner for Spicinski. Spicinski behind the cage, a centering pass, intercepted before it can reach his man, and now controlled in the corner after a scrum by the Chargers. The Chargers now, the near side corner, played up the boards, it is stolen by the pair of Bright brothers right in front of us, and a hard check there by Evan Deere behind the play.
Goodness.
Sends a man to the ice, and a shot on goal by Bright is caught out of the air by the goaltender, Alex Reichel.
And it looks like we might already have a man out of commission here for the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers, as my man just absolutely took a tumble. Andrew, give me one moment and take on over for me, why don't you?
Sounds good to me. Evan Deere absolutely laid that man out, and now it is Aaron Tisdale coming in for the faceoff. The Chargers win it once again. They're 3-0 on the faceoffs. Trying to be poke checked away there by Wes Davis, but it's controlled by Berezinski. Tisdale to collect, thrown back up the ice for Berezinski. And now it's Moran that catches on. Berezinski now back in his own zone in the left side corner. Tucks it around the cage of his own goaltender, setting up a play. Berezinski still with control behind Thurston. Finally makes his move as he moves up the center of the ice. Across the blue line in the neutral territory, Berezinski taking it himself. A shot on goal in the pads of Alex Reichel. Some much-needed offense there by Kennesaw State, as a couple good shots on goal by the Chargers so far. And so far, it's been pretty evenly matched in terms of offensive game. 17:56 left to go in the first period. Score still 0-0 as Ian McDonald comes in to the right circle for an offensive zone faceoff. Ian McDonald waiting patiently for the puck drop as the ref is taking his sweet time.
Apologies for the delay there, Andrew. I was getting word that our camera part replacement is en route as we speak.
Absolutely, as Wes Davis took a slap shot on goal, stopped easily by Reichel for another offensive zone faceoff. So that camera's going to be back online pretty soon, isn't it, Matt?
Is a lickety-split, I would say.
That's what I'm hoping. Ian McDonald wins this faceoff as it goes back to Wes Davis. Davis banks a pass off the boards from McDonald. He stops behind Reichel. Centering pass for Jeremy Van de Kerkhoff. Goal! A beautiful pass there from Ian McDonald to the stick of Jeremy Van de Kerkhoff, who absolutely buries it for the first goal of the game for the Kennesaw State Owls.
That centering pass for McDonald was just about as textbook as it could have gotten, Andrew. And I'll tell you what, if there's one thing Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff is able to do is he's able to place his shot, and he sent that one high glove side like it was planned before the game. Honestly, probably because it was.
Yeah, they watch a lot of film. I know that. They've told me. Reichel controls this puck, and he throws it back to center ice for the Chargers. The Chargers moving up the left side of Kennesaw's own zone, and Berezynski rubs him off the puck. Vanderkerkhoff now in the corner. Vanderkerkhoff moving steadily up ice as he eventually crosses the blue line and gives it on to Wes Davis. The captain, Wes Davis, in the left side circle, nearly runs into his own man, but keeps control of the puck and eventually stripped there by the Chargers. The Chargers now owe some steam. Moving up ice, a long shot put on goal, sticked away there by Thurston, and a hit by Testino sends a man to the bench.
Very big hit there by Testino. Rattled number 2 for the Chargers.
Chargers now with control in neutral ice. Trying to make a play on Berezynski, but it's thrown back to Spysinski instead. Spysinski steadily moving up neutral ice as he lobs it on back to the left side corner into the Chargers zone. Bright, first man to it, tries to give it up to Berezynski, but it's picked. Evan Deere with a steal in the center of the ice. Loses control, tries to throw a centering pass off of his skate, and in the possession of the Chargers, who lob it back to center ice for Berezynski and eventually Bright. Evan Deere dodges a check there as he loses control of the puck and onto the stick of Bright. Bright steadily taps it into the zone, and it's twisted back around by the Chargers and back to the Kennesaw side of the ice for an icing.
That one's coming all the way back, Andrew. And high tempo here for the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls thus far early this game.
16-17 left in the first period, and that puck is coming all the way back. And our part from our lovely runner, Chase Braithwaite, just arrived. So now the camera will be up and running in a matter of moments.
He's a national hero, Andrew. He's
Yes,
a national hero. Everyone should know it.
Face-off won by Kennesaw. Spysinski throws a shot up, but it was stopped before it can reach the pads of Reichel. Bright back to Berezynski in his own zone. Playing catch with it, looking for an angle. This time it's Bright. Still waiting patiently in Kennesaw's zone, and a pass up off of the skate of Vanderkerkhoff, looking for Tisdale. Deere, a beautiful swim move around a defender, and now Deere brings it into the zone. Another beautiful move by Deere, and a pass on over just over the stick of Barnett. And that was a beautiful opportunity there for Kennesaw State. It just could not capitalize as now it's Evan Deere at neutral ice. Lobs it back into the zone, into the glove of Reichel for a change. Reichel freezes the puck, and now we will have another offensive zone faceoff for Kennesaw State with 15:37 left to go in the first period. Score 1-0.
Hey, would you look at that?
We have picture.
We have a nice little pretty picture here, ladies and gentlemen.
Back online as Aaron Tisdale comes into the faceoff circle. A slap shot by Davis off of the skates of a Charger and thrown back to center ice. And we have a check there as Davis hits the deck. The Chargers moving up ice, and a shot on Luke Thurston is put into the back of the net off of a 2-on-1 breakaway as the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers tie up this game 1-1 with 15:27 left to go in the first period.
I'm going to turn the camera back off, Andrew. I'm going to turn the camera back off.
That seemed to be our good luck.
And that's the first goal that Luke Thurston has let up, Andrew, in 5 games. This is his first goal in 5 games that he's let up.
4 consecutive shutouts for Luke Thurston. Sad to see that end so early, as now the faceoff is controlled by Kennesaw. Wes Davis throws it up to center ice, and it's eventually controlled by the Chargers, who throw it back into KSU zone as a Charger is almost put face first into the bench by Ryan Moran. Gagne, waiting patiently behind the net, throws it off the boards, attempted for Barnett, but it's controlled and almost mishandled there by the Chargers, but eventually kept in play, not before a steal by Aaron Tisdale. Tisdale moving along the left side, bringing on to Reichel, and a shot is frozen by the goaltender for the Chargers, Alex Reichel, for another faceoff. 14:54 left to go in the first period, score 1-1, and both teams will get some fresh legs on the ice. Face-off now, controlled by Ian McDonald. Berezynski at the point. A pass off the boards to Vanderkerkhoff, but it's controlled by the Chargers and given on back to KSU at neutral ice. A bank pass off the boards there by Berezynski, controlled by Reichel, and eventually given on back to Chargers possession. A long pass off the boards ends up in control of Berezynski, and he banks it on back to Testino. Just a bit overplayed there as it goes on into the Charger zone, and not before a turnover by Ian McDonald. A pass in front to Vanderkerkhoff. A backhanded pass almost sticked into his own goal there by the Chargers. But a nice-looking save there from a defenseman as Reichel freezes the puck.
And I'll tell you what, one of the very first things we've had put in the chat in several weeks, Andrew, was way to go Chase. What a guy.
What a good guy.
What a good dude.
Face-off won there by Ian McDonald as Berezinski gives it on over to his brother, who blasts a slap shot on goal. It's sticked away there by Reichel.
Yeah, Berezinski can lay that shot down when he needs to.
Which one? It's the Berezinski connection as it's thrown around the boards for Ian McDonald. A centering pass sticked up in the air.
They call that the Airbnb, Andrew.
I'm going to start using that as it's thrown around to the boards and controlled by the Chargers.
You know, if you're not going to laugh at my stupid jokes, at least don't fake
I laughed.
laugh.
I giggled.
That was
genuine. That was
fake.
from the gut on that one.
That was shut up.
That was genuine.
Andrew's like, yeah, no, that was a real knee slapper.
It was.
I hate you.
I enjoyed it.
I hate you.
13:45 left to go in the first period as Berezinski controls this one behind the net. Gives it on up to his brother, playing catch like they did in the front yard, and now it's back around
With
the
a
boards
hockey puck?
for Berezinski. Yeah, on the grass. That's how they got so good.
That's how they got so much power.
Yeah. Ian McDonald now. Blistering up ice as now it's Deer. Gives a centering pass on to McDonald, who cannot get there in time. Puck thrown back to Berezinski. A wrist shot off of the leg of a Charger. A backhanded pass to Deer. Deer just over the crossbar. Hits the glass.
Oh, man.
Evan Deer to the corner. It's thrown all the way up to Berezinski. Couldn't tell if that was Tisdale or Berezinski as the Chargers throw it back around the boards and out of their own zone. Dumped immediately back in to get some fresh legs on the ice by KSU. And now the Chargers playing catch in their own zone. Puck kept in the zone there by Spicinski back to the boards where Bright will try to chase this one down. Foot race is lost, and the Chargers now control the boards, but it leaks on through to Berezinski. Berezinski to his brother. 12:45 left to go in the first. Berezinski around Luke Thurston's cage to his own brother again.
Andrew, we have gotten confirmation from the chat that your laugh was, in fact, fake.
No, it wasn't. That was real. They don't know me. They might know me, depending on who it was. A check in the boards there nearly sends Berezinski to the ice, but he stays on his feet, or skates. Backhanded pass from Deer to Bright. Spicinski gloves it down in the corner. Centering pass tempted for Deer. It just goes out of the zone where Gagne will be in a foot race. Gagne neatly slaps this one away, and the Chargers must retreat together. Kennesaw State on the attack, and we have an offsides.
I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of rough play going on here thus far in this first period, Andrew, but no penalties as of yet, just some offsides, just some icings.
That's not like KSU games at all. Usually there's about 6 penalties by now.
You are not kidding. All on KSU.
Conveniently. Aaron Tisdale comes over the face-off. The Chargers win this one cleanly and bring it back to their own zone behind the goaltender around the boards.
Suspiciously side-eyes referees.
Max Hayes comes in. A centering pass is stopped by Reichel and given on back to Gagne. Gagne at the high point. Gives it on to Hayes. Hayes, a slap shot is sticked away by a defenseman. And now it's controlled by Barnett. Puts another shot on goals off of his skate. And the Chargers move off the ice, but now before it's turned over to Wes Davis. Wes Davis chips it on back in as a Charger loses an edge and forgets how to skate for a moment. Gagne off the boards to himself. Almost dodges a check but gets taken down. And now the Chargers throw it off the boards where Hayes will collect it. Hayes and Tisdale on a scrum in the corner with 2 Chargers. And it's eventually thrown out to neutral ice for Gagne. Gagne all the way over to Bright. A long slap shot on goal is controlled and frozen by Reichel.
Another offensive zone face-off for Kennesaw State. They usually dominate these face-off regions. Have not thus far this game, Andrew. Let's hope that they can make a quick play happen off of this face-off.
Hopefully, as 11:30 is on the clock for the first period, who is going to be the first one to break the tie?
That's a good question, Andrew. Hopefully, Casey.
Hopefully, as McDonald loses the face-off of the Chargers, and they bring it out behind the goaltender. Strip of the puck there by Vanderkerkhoff. A pass on over to McDonald. Backhanded shot off of a spin move and frozen by Reichel once again.
Wow, great shot attempt there by Ian McDonald. That was incredible.
I'll tell you, KSU has about 4 or 5 steals in the offensive zone today. They just can't capitalize on them so far.
If they keep getting these steals, Andrew, eventually one of these will go in.
Some good chances. As the Chargers win this face-off, but it's immediately thrown to the stick of Testino, and a pass off the back of the cage rises in the air, and another pass rides along the boards. Wes Davis loses an edge, but not before he plays it back to the corner for Testino and eventually McDonald. McDonald sends it even further to Berezinski, who cannot play the puck properly, and is thrown back to neutral ice, and sent back in by Vanderkerkhoff for possession of the Chargers. The Chargers, up the blue line. A shot on goal into the chest of Thurston, who stands upright to make that save and freezes it himself. 10:54 left to go in the first period, and University of Alabama Huntsville will have one of the few offensive face-offs this game.
They may not have very many offensive zone faceoffs thus far, Andrew, but the shots that they've been able to get have been of a very high quality, and I got to be honest, that is concerning.
Yeah, it's all about quality for them, not volume. Maybe that's their offensive game. I don't know. I don't have much film on them. A pass up to McDonald, throwing across the blue paint to the corner, and now it's Vanderkerkhoff riding him up the boards. Berezinski back in his own zone to Testino. Testino lobs a puck in the air, goes all the way to the boards where the Chargers will collect. Sent around the edge there is controlled by the Chargers once again as it's thrown to the center of the ice. And Alabama Huntsville will move up. Dumped all the way down for a change as Thurston plays this puck around the boards for Wes Davis. Wes Davis, the captain, throws it across the ice off of the skate of Testino as it leaks back into the zone of the Chargers, where they will control. Backhanded pass onto the near side boards as it goes up the ice off of the skate of Gagne, and in control of the Chargers once again. Gagne trying to defend as it leaks up all the way to Berezinski, who throws it back behind the goaltender, Reichel. The Chargers behind their own cage. Nearly a turnover to Spysinski, and there is one to Bright as he cannot corral it properly. And it goes on over, and a backhanded shot goes right past the skate of Reichel, and a hard hip check to the boards there as Spysinski. A shot nearly deflected in front as it's blocked away by Reichel. Spysinski to the point for Berezinski. Back to Spysinski as that jumps over his stick and goes around to the corner where Bright will take this one. Bright on over to Spysinski. A wraparound attempt off of the skate of a defenseman. Almost banks in.
Very sneaky wraparound attempt there for Spysinski. Almost had him fooled.
It was as Gagne didn't get all of that pass, and it goes back to control of the Chargers as they throw it the length of the ice to KSU zone, and that's coming right back for an icing. 9:17 to go in the first period. Score still the same as KSU gets another one of their abundance of offensive zone faceoff chances.
Absolutely. University of Alabama Huntsville. I'll tell you what, they enjoy icing the puck. I mean, if that's their game plan.
Icing the puck and quality shot chances is what it looks like so far.
That's a controversial combination there.
It is, but hey, they have a goal on the board. The game's tied. It seems to be working for them.
It's like peanut butter and sriracha.
Long shot attempt there by Gagne. Nearly putting off the rebound by Moran off of the outside of the post, and it's thrown around the boards by the Chargers. Chargers move up ice in nearly a 2-on-1 situation as Gagne gets back and controls. Gagne twisted along back behind his goaltender Luke Thurston as Moran comes up. Another Charger loses an edge here as Hayes takes this one across the blue line himself. A shot trying to go 5-hole on a defenseman, and a centering pass in front, sticked away before it can reach Tisdale. Tisdale chases this one along to the corner.
Oh!
There's a nice hip check there to the boards as both players go down, and someone I think is laying on the puck. And yes, it is frozen dead, and we will have a face-off.
Aaron Tisdale laying these hits down already with 8:35 to go in the first. He's just going to keep throwing these hits out here, and I'll tell you what, it's going to keep working every time.
That's been his
this
MO all year.
This team is not Vanderbilt. They don't have a substantial size advantage over KSU. They're going to get bullied and tossed around like ragdolls if they don't do something about this wily Kennesaw State forecheck.
And Aaron Tisdale's been a key player in that the whole season. It's his job to be physical out there.
Indeed it is.
Wes Davis with control in KSU zone, throws it on back to Bright. Bright up the ice to Moran. He lobs it back in almost off the back of the referee as it goes around the corner and eventually into Hayes' possession. Hayes tries a backhand to Moran, just out of his reach, and now the Chargers control up the boards.
And it looks like the Chargers got away with a tripping call there, but the refs are letting the boys play tonight, Andrew.
They are. Taking some time off the clock as a 3-man scrum in the corner as the Chargers prevail. Vanderkerkhoff, fresh off the bench, trying to make a play on it, and does. A backhanded pass from Bright, and eventually to McDonald in the zone. McDonald on over to Testino, a shot on goal, sticked away there by Reichel. The Chargers with possession, a sneaky backhanded shot there by Vanderkerkhoff is sticked away again by Reichel. He's doing a good job goaltending tonight. Turnover of the offensive zone. Vanderkerkhoff has it on over to McDonald. McDonald on the right side circle, across to Vanderkerkhoff, backhanded shot off of a defenseman, and Vanderkerkhoff cannot put it away as it leaks on back to the point.
He even got his own rebound. That was incredible.
He did. Testino sends a man to the boards, and Vanderkerkhoff with a nice open ice hit. And now Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff on neutral ice brings it over the blue line.
Thus far in this game, Andrew, Kennesaw State playing the role of bully.
As they do often, Matt. Ian McDonald in the corner. Off the boards to Davis. Davis back to McDonald. McDonald centering pass for Testino. A shot just put past the left post and wide. Bright throws it around back behind Reichel as Testino scrums for this one. Testino and a Charger with some help from McDonald, but the Chargers get possession first. A pass jumps over the stick of a Charger as Wes Davis comes back to the blue line to retrieve. Wes Davis Throws a long pass at the McDonald. McDonald, a nice move at open ice. Backhand shot on goal, just wide left. A beautiful move there. Ian McDonald showing his quickness once again, as he does every game of the year. And now Bright regains the puck at the blue line. Evan Deere comes up the ice this time. Evan Deere nearly taken down as he goes behind Reichel. Tries to drop it off for Spysinski, but just a bit too far. Evan Deere in the corner. Bright attempts to gain the control, but is going to end up with a tripping penalty here, and we have a delayed call on Kennesaw State. 6:15 left to go, and a hard hit there in the corner by Spysinski. Touches the puck and stops the play. 6:14 to go in the first period, and the Chargers will have their first power play opportunity of the night, as the first penalty winds up on who else, Matt? It's Kennesaw State.
Yes, indeed.
Aaron Tisdale coming in for this faceoff. Wins it cleanly as he chips it up ice. And now the Chargers will retreat as it goes back to the stick of Reichel. Reichel off the boards. Chargers with a one-man advantage for the next minute 45 as it goes up the neutral ice, where Berezynski sticks it away and tried to be clear by Tisdale, who takes it himself up the zone.
Wow, managing to keep it on sides there. Kennesaw State, good job of the puck movement.
Tisdale retreating back to play some defense as the Chargers control in the trapezoid. The Chargers move up ice and eventually into Kennesaw State's zone as he takes it all the way. And Gagne tries to play some defense, but no, it's bobbled in front. Tried to be put in the back of the net, but Thurston was there to stop him as Kennesaw State clears. And Tisdale charging down the ice himself.
Oh, wide open
Tisdale
net,
hits the
Kennesaw
goalie.
State. Oh, my
Collision
goodness.
in front of the net. No penalty for either team, as now it's thrown across the blue line.
We do
No,
have
there is a delayed
penalty
penalty.
here.
Excuse me,
It's
as Reichel
Kennesaw
goes to the
State.
bench.
I wonder
They're going
what
to get
the
Tisdale
call
for that.
is here. Yeah, probably, but not entirely sure. I don't think I agree with that call, Andrew. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, it happens. 5:20 left to go in the first period as
So 5-on-3.
the Chargers will have a two-man advantage for the next minute 7.
That is going to be a difficult one for Kennesaw State to kill, but if any team can do it with the penalty kill that they have, you know it's going to be Kennesaw State.
That's a tough situation for any team in the league, Matt.
Yeah, but we're Kennesaw State.
We are Kennesaw State.
So, like,
And we have one of the best goalies in the game in Luke Thurston.
one of the best to ever do it. He's the goalie of all time. Oh, no.
I hope he shows up tonight.
I believe he will, because he never doesn't.
Players having some discussions with the referee as Ian McDonald comes in and takes this face off. It's to Luke Thurston's right. And McDonald will eye this one up. It is McDonald, Berezynski, and Gagne on the ice for Kennesaw State. McDonald wins this one and immediately cleared down by Gagne all the way to the corner. Chargers retreat slowly, killing some more time off the clock. 1 minute to go in this 5-on-3. Chargers moving up ice. Gagne to contest and controlled at the high point by the Chargers. Berezynski coming over to play this one and clears it once again all the way back down to the stick of Reichel. Chargers behind the goaltender make another push. That's 2 clears for KSU as University of Alabama Huntsville pushes back up the ice and across the blue line. Making a move on the right side circle. Attempts a nice move in front, but just missed it wide as Luke Thurston shut down one corner. A pass intended for the point is thrown all the way back around to the stick of Reichel once again by Berezynski with 15 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Chargers up ice. Moves around Testino, takes it over the blue line. A long shot on goal is thrown just high, and Testino has this one at the corner, who plays it on to Berezynski. Berezynski, a blast around the boards, and it hops over a stick of a Charger and out of play, and the first man is out of the box for KSU. It'll be 5-on-4 for the next 50 seconds.
Kennesaw State managing to kill the 2-man advantage. Now they just have to get back to the penalty kill that they know and are so good at, the 5-on-4, for only another 40 seconds, Andrew.
It's been solid all year, and a couple shorthanded goals, too. Let's see if they can keep it up. Testino killing some time in the corner himself, and he throws it on back to the stick of Davis. Davis, a nice move there in front, and gives it on to Testino. Testino moving slowly and methodically, and a tipped shot on goal there by Bright. is caught by Reichel, and we have a scuffle in front.
Some late extracurricular activity here from University of Alabama Huntsville. Apparently they aren't taking our physicality very well.
Not many teams do.
Not many teams do. Probably for the best, but doesn't mean you need to cause a little ruckus after the play. The whistle is the whistle.
That may have been Bright that started it.
Listen, it may have been Bright that started it, but hey, don't finish.
Spysinski coming in to take this face off. And the Chargers end up with the puck and immediately move behind Reichel with 15 seconds to go on this power play. Thrown slowly around the boards and nearly stolen there by Deer, and it's Davis that pops the puck up in the air to kill even more time. Davis wrapping a man up in his own zone and throwing around the KSU zone for Berezinski to retrieve with 5 seconds to go on the power play. Around the boards for Evan Deer. Power play expires. Last man out of the box or back to full-strength hockey as Evan Deer breaks away. Evan Deer in a one-on-one with the goaltender. A shot on goal is patted away by Alex Reichel.
Good opportunity there for Kennesaw State. Just couldn't put it home. But if you get more of those, I'll tell you what, Kennesaw State's more of a volume team.
Centering pass for Spysinski. Spysinski sends a man to the ice with a hard shoulder check.
Oh, my God!
Chargers end up with possession. It's sticked away by Berezinski, who plays catch on his own blue line. Spysinski probably with the hit of the night so far. Just absolutely
the hit of the century, Andrew. The hit of the millennium.
2:45 left to go in the first period, and it's thrown all the way around the boards by Berezinski as Kennesaw State will get some fresh men on the ice. Tisdale to center ice. A shot is sticked away by a defenseman and thrown back to neutral ice for the Chargers. Berezinski coming back. Gives it on up with the stick of Gagne and up to Barnett. Barnett up the boards to Hayes, but just overplayed and back into the control of Alabama Huntsville. Thrown all the way up. I've almost stolen there by Tisdale, but it's back to neutral ice for Gagne, where the Kennesaw State Owls must retreat to avoid an offsides. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first period. Score is still the same as it's thrown back to the stick of Bright and eventually Gagne. Gagne in his own zone. Waiting patiently, gives it on over to Bright, who gives it up to Tisdale and cannot make a play on the puck as throws it over the blue line, but it's controlled in their own zone by the Chargers. Bright sticks to the corner there for Hayes.
Good stick handling there by Bright.
Hayes, there's a shot on goal and is caught easily by Reichel once again. A little bit of extra shoving there between a Alabama Huntsville Charger and our very own Aaron Barnett. We'll see if that develops. Ian McDonald coming in for the faceoff with 1:45 to go in the first period. Wins it cleanly back to Gagne. Gagne, a pass up in front for McDonald, just sneaks on through. A pass in front for Vandekerkhoff, who pops over his stick, and now the Chargers control on the right side. A pass almost disastrous for Kennesaw State as Gagne just barely got a leg on it, as now it's Testino up the ice. A pass for McDonald, a shot off of the pad of Reichel. Chargers throw back to neutral ice for Gagne, and he controls in KSU zone. A pass up the neutral ice for Vandekerkhoff, a nice move around a defender, and a wrist shot on goal just past the left post as Reichel freezes this one with 1:13 left to go in the first period.
Tell you what, Reichel has been on point thus far this game, Andrew.
He has. He has been one of the better goaltenders we've seen this year.
Yeah, he has faced a lot of quality chances and odd man chances from Kennesaw State and has been able to fight off all but one.
Yeah. And especially that breakaway by Evan Deer. That was a golden opportunity.
But I mean, he's no Luke Thurston, but then again, not many people are.
But that was a great save on Evan Deer. He's known for his breakaway skills. And not quite the speed of Ian McDonald, but anyway, the face-off one and a slap shot put on goal by Davis is caught by Reichel once again. But that breakaway, Evan Deer's been great all year in one-on-one situations with the goalie, but Reichel just got in front of him.
And we need more of that from Kennesaw State, winning those face-offs quickly and getting a quick shot off. Those are beautiful plays.
Face-off one again by KSU. Cannot be played cleanly by Vandekerkhoff, who eventually tips it over to Testino. Testino back over to McDonald. Centering pass in front to Vandekerkhoff, and he scores! Jeremy Vandekerkhoff with his second of the night off of McDonald's second assist of the night. That was almost the same play as the first goal for KSU. And KSU takes a one-goal lead, 2-1, with 58 seconds to go in the first period of action.
I will tell you what, Andrew. Is somebody on hat trick watch?
He's on hat trick watch.
Hat trick watch?
And he's on it early.
Is
First
that
period.
Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff in the first period on hat trick watch?
McDonald wins the faceoff and throws it all the way back down to the corner and shrugs off a check. McDonald with a point for Davis. A blast across the ice there for Berezynski as he goes to the right side corner. Berezynski, a shot is sticked away before it can reach the goaltender as he brings it on back through the trapezoid. Berezynski looking for Davis, but that was cut off before the pass was even sent. But instead wraps it around to McDonald. McDonald centering pass for Vanderkerkhoff once again. This time it's broken up, but controlled by Testino. An early shot on goal, and Vanderkerkhoff almost tips it in for his third goal, but it just goes wide of the cage. The Chargers try desperately to get out of their own zone with 20 seconds left to go as KSU is applying the pressure and a hit by Vanderkerkhoff, and we have a penalty. And a shoving match going on in front of the bench.
Here we go. It's going down. End of the first period here. We have a lot of extracurricular in front of the University of Alabama Huntsville bench. It's getting chippy, and we still have a whole nother game after this.
I don't know if what you said earlier, if it's just bad blood or if it's fresh history. I don't know, but either way, these teams do not like each other with 16.3 to go in the first, and we have
offsetting penalties.
Some matching penalties there for Kennesaw State and Alabama Huntsville alike. It'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, which will bring us into the second period of action with, again, only 16.3 to go. I'll tell you, if this develops anything like it did against the Vanderbilt team, there's going to be entire lines ejected from the game.
The only difference seems to be thus far that these refs are letting the boys play a little bit more than the refs for the Vanderbilt series. Time will tell whether that's a good or a bad decision, though, Andrew. It could lead to some good hockey, but it could also lead to some dangerous circumstances. So hopefully everybody, regardless of the hard play, stays safe.
Yeah, like that hit against Isaiah Arnold against Vanderbilt.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
was just dirty.
That was a real blindside hit, that one.
But hopefully we have none of that here as the period ends, and Evan Deere with a late check. He might get penalized for that as him and a Charger exchange words.
Yeah. That was a little on the tad on the late side.
Yeah, period was over for a couple seconds.
Maybe you know how it is.
But we will see how this develops when we come back for the second period. Score 2-1 KSU, and the 4-on-4 hockey will continue for 1:44. Unless KSU picks up another penalty, we will let you know when we resume.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back momentarily. You know where to find us, twitch.tv/SuperGamecastBrothers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second period of play here at the Marietta Ice Center between the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers. It's been a chippy first period, to say the least, Andrew, but we're getting underway here with this second period with Kennesaw State down a man.
Down one man. It's 4-on-3, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
I was eating a cough drop. I got a bit of a cold going on.
Apologies, Andrew.
But yeah, Evan Deere got sent to the box at the end of that period for that hit a couple seconds after the period expired. So
it was like 10 seconds after the period.
Yeah, so Alabama Huntsville will have a man advantage for about 16 seconds after the 4-on-4 penalty expires.
Yes, indeed. And I don't know. I believe in Kennesaw State's penalty kill up to this point. They do have an offensive zone face-off already.
And an immediate slap shot by Davis gets just past the right side bar, as now Wes Davis controls at the high point. Davis.
Ooh, good move there.
Handling himself, makes two men collide. Wes Davis makes two men hit each other.
And a tripping penalty. And a tripping.
Matt, the captain, Wes Davis, with such a good move, made two men hit each other and then picks up the tripping penalty.
What is that from Street 2, Andrew? Is juke your opponent out of their shoes by tapping the circle button? I think he just juked his opponents out of their shoes.
Whatever it was, Wes Davis just pulled it off as Luke Thurston goes to the bench for the extra attacker for KSU for the delayed penalty. Testino, a shot on goal, put past the left post and collected in the corner by the Chargers, and that will stop the play.
Yes, indeed. Fresh 2 minutes of power play on the board here, so it will be Kennesaw State when all of this madness is said and done. 4 concurrent penalties. When all this madness is said and done, Kennesaw State will have the power play for about 1 minute and 3 seconds. Kennesaw State currently up 2-1 with 18:52 remaining in the second period. Andrew, this is insanity thus far.
Well, I think we picked up for that lack of penalties in the first period, Matt.
You are not kidding. All 4 of the penalty clocks here at the Marietta Ice Center ticking away.
KSU wins the faceoff, and now it's Testino at the right side circle. Gives it on back to Gagne and up to the point for Davis. Fakes a slap shot.
3-on-3, I love it.
3-on-3, this is old school. This is pond hockey as Wes Davis controls at the left side point. Davis, a backhanded pass to Gagne. It is Davis, Gagne, and Testino on the ice for KSU. Gagne, a nice move, a centering pass for Davis. Davis, a slap shot off the skates of Reichel. Controlled now by the Chargers. Puts it between his own legs and kicks it up into the KSU zone, where Gagne is back to play some defense. Gagne shoves him to the boards, and the first penalty has expired for both teams, as both teams get a fresh man on the ice to bump this up to 4-on-4 hockey.
We've upgraded from 3-on-3 to 4-on-4.
For all of 10 seconds until KSU gets their man advantage.
Kennesaw State 5 seconds until this man advantage.
Testino up the ice. Gives it on over to Bright, who skates on into the Charger zone. A shot by Testino is caught and held by Reichel for the offensive zone faceoff. As the penalty expired, KSU gets their man back. KSU back up to 5 men on the ice, just like the hockey gods intended. And the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers have 4 for the next minute 1. 17:57 to go in the second period. Score is still 2-1 as Drew Spicinski comes in to take this faceoff.
17:57, good year, Andrew. The Americans were like, I don't know about those British folk.
Every game I wait for your history lesson, Matt, as a shot through traffic by Evan Deere is stopped by Reichel for another offensive zone faceoff.
Reichel been doing a pretty good job thus far of trapping that puck and making sure no secondary chances come of the Kennesaw State opportunities.
Anytime there's a man near, he just either sits on the puck or gloves it down. He has not given up very many rebounds this game. Kennesaw wins the faceoff as it goes back to Vandekerkov and into the corner for McDonald. McDonald to Deere in the circle. Deere tips it on down to McDonald. McDonald gloves it to himself off the boards and backhands it on over to Deere. Deere up top to Vandekerkov in the middle of the ice. A nice move there, loses control, but gives it on over to Deere, who fires it across the blue paint into control for Wes Davis. Puck flies all the way back around the boards for control by McDonald. Back up to Vandekerkov. A shot high over the right side crossbar. And now it is Davis with control on the point.
That was a heat-seeking missile there, Andrew.
It was, and Davis comes up and loses control of the puck as it's flown all the way back around to KSU zone, where the Chargers will be the first man to it. Vandekerkov, however, comes out of nowhere, wins the foot race and controls behind Luke Thurston with 5 seconds to go on the man advantage for Kennesaw State. 3-2-1, the power play expires, and now we're back to full-strength hockey for both teams. Pass to the center of the ice, a shot on goal by Deere off the chest of Reichel. And now it is controlled on the boards by McDonald. Deere and a Charger in a scrum as they both collapse to the ice. Backhanded all the way over to Vanderkerkhoff. A centering pass off the skate of Evan Deere. And they wave it off. No goal.
We have a no goal here.
They say it was kicked on purpose by Evan Deere as that puck went about 10 feet after it hit his skate. 5-hole on Reichel to the back of the net, but they're not calling it a goal.
Can we get some instant replay on that? I'm going to need some instant replay.
Matt, we don't have the budget for replay up here.
Yeah, you're right, and it's sad. It makes me sad.
So no goal. All the excitement dies down as hopefully that gives some momentum back to KSU. And with 16:40 to go in the second period, both teams will line up for a neutral zone faceoff.
I was over here all excited and whatnot.
I was too. I thought it hit his skate and bounced in from about 10 feet out, but he was in his skating motion, so they called that a kick and waved it off. Aaron Tisdale comes in and take this faceoff.
Looks weird having all 5 teammates out there for both teams.
I'm not used to it. Fired all the way around the boards there by Berezynski and controlled by the Chargers. Right side boards now, the Chargers make their push. To neutral ice, over into KSU zone, and thrown in front of the goal. Off the boards for Bright. Bright cannot get it up to Hayes as it's fought along in the boards there between Hayes, Tisdale, and 2 Chargers. Berezynski off the boards to Moran, who slaps it on in to the Charger zone, but it cannot be thrown far enough as it's circled around the boards for Hayes. Hayes to Tisdale behind the net. Tisdale attempts a backhanded pass in front, but it's stopped by the goaltender and a Chargers defenseman, and it's thrown back over the skate of Berezynski, who has to retreat all the way to get at this one. Thurston will get there first and throw it around the boards for Bright. Bright loses control of the puck in his own zone, and now the Chargers have it, but they immediately give it back to possession to Bright.
They're like, no, you take it.
Hot potato in the puck in the
Hot
back.
potato.
And now Berezynski has it in the right side circle. Gives it on up to Hayes as a Charger loses an edge. And now Hayes stops on the dime. Hayes throws a shot on goal just past the left post and around the boards for Bright.
Good look there from Hayes, looking to go high stick side. Knows that's a weak point.
Bright lobs it all the way in back to the stick of McDonald. To Berezynski, a long-range slap shot into the breadbasket of Reichel, who freezes it once again for an offensive zone faceoff.
Kennesaw State applying the pressure here early in the second period, looking to turn the tempo up from what they had created in the first period.
With 15:25 left to go to do so, and now McDonald comes in for this faceoff. Ian McDonald wins this one back to Vanderkerkhoff. Vanderkerkhoff immediately swarmed by some Chargers, but McDonald runs into the referee in the corner and cannot play the puck. Scrum now in the corner. McDonald emerges from it after some good coercing there, and it's thrown in the middle for Testino, and it bounces off of his stick and now controlled in the corner. Testino on the right side corner, a backhanded shot, sticked away there by Reichel and given all back to McDonald in the corner. McDonald, a bouncing pass to the point for Berezynski. Forehand, backhand move, and a shot on goal goes right past the right side post, and now McDonald has it.
Good stick handling there by Berezynski. That was incredible.
And some pretty solid work there for a defenseman, as now it's controlled, fought for viciously by Vanderkerkhoff, but eventually won by the Chargers. Berezynski stops it from clearing the zone, and Testino sends a man to the ice.
Oh, my gosh. I don't
Testino in a scrum in the corner. The Chargers shield him off and take control.
John Testino in the corner. Put the man on skates, Andrew.
Speaking of Testino, here he is in front and just shoots it high and into the mesh.
Oh, my gosh.
Both teams hitting each other viciously during that possession, and both teams looking for the referees for some penalties, as I believe
no dice.
None will happen.
Yeah, wow. Calling that a clean hit. I very much agree, Andrew. I very much agree.
Spysinski comes up with this faceoff. Tries to win it out over to Deere, who has to shake a man off of his stick in order to get it, and it's thrown back to the stick of Spysinski. Spysinski, a shot off the thigh pad of a Charger. That's got to sting a little bit. I mean, that had some velocity on it. Spysinski throws it to neutral ice, almost for Evan Deere, but it's picked off by a Charger and sent back to the stick of Gagne, who shrugs off a check like it's nothing.
Oh,
Evan Deere,
goodness.
a long wrist shot put on goal, gloved away.
Oh.
And still no penalties as multiple players for both teams fall to the ice. And Thurston plays this one away from a Charger.
Wow, good look there by Thurston. A heads-up play coming out of his net, knowing that he wouldn't have the support there in time.
Bright loses his footing, sprawls to the ice, and now is a scrum in the corner between 4 players. KSU ends up with it in a little extra shoving there between Bright and a Charger, as now it is Deere who throws it around the boards and out of the zone. And Gagne, Berezinski, will chase this one down. Berezinski moves on behind Thurston, loses it on the outside of the cage, and shields a man off, and eventually to himself in the corner. Berezinski, high off the boards, bounces over a Charger stick, and Evan Deere will try to chase this one and cannot get it in time. The Chargers up the neutral ice off of a skate of Berezinski as he controls in the Chargers zone. Berezinski to Hayes. Hayes off the boards. Attempted for Tisdale, but it's the Chargers who get there first off of the assist there from Reichel. Aaron Barnett got tabletopped as Tisdale tries desperately to control. Hayes in the center of the ice almost gets knocked off of his skates, but keeps his footing.
All 4 of the 5 Chargers were like at the blue line there. That was incredible.
An opportunity that should have been capitalized on, but both teams were too busy trying to hit each other than score the puck.
Yeah, wow. That was much more of a street fight than an offensive play and a defensive stop.
12:49 to go in the second period as yet another offensive zone faceoff for KSU. Aaron Tisdale is going to be the one to take this faceoff.
Andrew, I got to say, it feels like there's more people in the audience than there usually is. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I mean, Alabama Huntsville tweeted out our link before the game. Thanks to them for doing that. If we can get as many viewers as we can.
I meant live here.
Oh.
Like live in the stadium.
Well,
feels good. It's
also
good
in the
energy.
chat. I agree. As some shoving in front between both teams. Whistles everywhere, looking like the Vanderbilt game out there as Tisdale gets wrapped up on the left side, and players have to be pulled away from each other. This has been ugly from the start. Both teams going at it viciously, and we'll see if some penalties, maybe some ejections after this one.
This one looks like there may be an ejection or two. Just maybe. Do you know what started that off, Andrew? I couldn't quite see.
I didn't see it.
It looks like maybe Hayes got wrapped up in front with someone, and then it all just sort of kicked off. But it looks like only one penalty? No, offsetting penalties will be assessed here.
You told me there's only one penalty per team off of that?
Yeah, I mean.
Wow.
And no ejections. Letting the boys play.
Hey, referees know what they're calling today.
They're calling a war.
They gotta break out the Geneva Convention rules for this game, Matt.
You are not kidding. No shooting, parachuting soldiers, and no gas. That's pretty much it.
So it looks like the final verdict will be offsetting penalties for both teams. It will be 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes with 12:37 left to go in the second period. Nope, there are 2 penalties on Alabama Huntsville.
All that will eventually result in a power play for Kennesaw State.
Will it? I'm trying to count the players here. Yes, a 1-man advantage for 2 minutes for KSU.
Evidently, what had happened there, Andrew, was a bump into the goalie after the whistle by Kennesaw State, and then what obviously must have been an overreaction. If it's going to lead to 2 penalties for Alabama Huntsville.
By multiple players, as now it's controlled at the bottom by Evan Deere. Yeah, that was quite the scuffle, Matt. I'll tell you, it didn't look anything like the Vanderbilt game, but, I mean, that's what leads up to it as McDonald's shaken down to the ice.
You are not kidding, Andrew. That was This one has the potential to get hairy.
If it already hasn't. And a shot up across the right side bar. Just a bit too high from Van de Kerkhoff.
I should say even hairier.
A centering pass from McDonald. Cannot put it home as it's now controlled at the point by Davis. Davis to Van de Kerkhoff across the ice. Now it was Deere who throws it to Van de Kerkhoff, but now it's turned over and controlled by the Chargers. They push up ice. The Chargers. A centering pass just a bit too far. The Chargers trying to get a shorthanded opportunity. And now the Kennesaw State Owls push up ice with speed. It's Van de Kerkhoff on goal, trying to get his third of the game, but it's stopped by Reichel.
Van de Kerkhoff still on hat trick watch, Andrew, and this could be the time for it.
I don't have a hat to throw, but I'll have to improvise.
I will not throw my headphones, but I'll ceremoniously I'm going to give the motion that I'm throwing them.
39 seconds to go on the power play, as now it's Testino in the center of the ice, lifts a shot backhand up over the crossbar. Testino controls his own rebound, gives it the point for Van de Kerkhoff, back down to the corner for Spicinski. A hard wrist shot put just wide of the right post, and it leaks out of the zone, and we have a penalty. Let's see who this is on. Looks like it's on Bright. KSU will send a man to the box, and there will be some even strength hockey for all of 23 seconds.
Before Alabama Huntsville go on their man advantage.
But KSU's power play's been good so far this game, so we'll see if Alabama Huntsville can break it or not.
As their penalty kill.
Yeah.
Their penalty kill. Yes, I would agree. Right now, it looks like Bright is in the box with... Who else is sitting in the box right now? Is that Hayes?
Yeah, it's Hayes.
Hayes and Bright currently in the box for Kennesaw State. And we don't have the roster, unfortunately, for Alabama Huntsville up in front of us right now. If we did, we'd let you know who's in the box for them as well. But we have some 4-on-4 hockey for another 10 seconds before Alabama Huntsville gets their time on the power play.
And Berezynski blasts that one back in behind Reichel, who goes out to control it, and Deere speeds in before anyone can see him, nearly steals it. But it's given over to the corner for Spysinski as the power play for KSU expires, and a centering pass for Evan Deere from Drew Spysinski sends it home. As do they count that as shorthanded? That was just as the power play expired, so it might be, it might not. Maybe 1 second left on the clock. But either way, the beautiful pass for... Oh, it was Spysinski that put it home, or was that Deere? I know one of them passed, one of them scored. Who was that, Matt?
I couldn't tell you, Andrew. I believe they're going to get Deere for it, I think. I couldn't tell you. But that was absolutely fantastic play there from Kennesaw State as they take a 2-goal lead, 3-1.
I'll tell you, every goal so far for KSU has come from a pass behind the cage in front for the goal.
There are currently... now there's nobody in the box for University of Alabama Huntsville, but it was number 5, I believe, for Alabama for the Chargers.
And that goal was for Evan Deere, and the assist goes to Spysinski.
Spysinski to Deere. I dare you to name a more iconic duo other than maybe chocolate and peanut butter, Andrew. Peanut butter and jelly.
Well, I can give you one right now. It'll be Vanda Kirchhoff and McDonald, as they both have 2 goals, 2 assists on the night.
Vanda Kirchhoff and Vanda Kirchhoff.
Yeah.
Shenderovich and Fishman.
We're not in Pittsburgh, Matt. We can't make that reference. University of Alabama Huntsville now on the power play for all of them. A minute 18 as they throw it to the boards for Gagne, who tries to chip it up the boards and leaks out to Tisdale. Tisdale hurries up the ice. A left side circle, a shot punched away by Reichel.
A stoppage. It looks like they missed a tripping call there. Gentleman was tripped. One of the Kennesaw State Owls was tripped into the goaltender, and he is down. No, he should be okay for now. Doesn't look like an injury will result.
I was watching Tisdale. I don't see if he was tripped or if he lost an edge, but either way.
No, that was...
hate to see that collision in front.
Absolutely. That was Testino. Took a tumble there in front of the net and slid into the blockers of Riker there.
Reichel. I hope Reichel's okay.
Reichel. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they're watching for Pittsburgh again.
Oh, they are?
That's fantastic.
Hey, that's where we're from, so it's always nice to hear people from the hometown.
We'll have a neutral zone face-off with 1:07 left to go on this University of Alabama Huntsville power play.
And Alabama Huntsville wins this one cleanly as they move up the ice, and a shot put on Luke Thurston is blocked away when Bright shoves a man into the boards and takes a retaliatory hit, but shakes it off. Both teams still ramping up the physicality with 9:50 to go in the second period and 50 seconds to go on the power play for the Chargers. Puck thrown into neutral ice and immediately stripped there by Vanda Kirchhoff, who kills some more time in his own zone. Jeremy Vanda Kirchhoff behind Luke Thurston's cage, fans on the shot, a turnover, and a backhanded shot. Berezynski got there before they could get a clean shot off and turn that aside.
Tell you what, good reactionary defense there from Kennesaw State.
And Bright attempted to clear and sent that straight into his own bench. And Spysinski giving him some words after that one.
You can take a guess as to who just posted in the chat, Andrew. They have your back, not your wallet.
Oh, my God.
Shenderovich, and Fishman. They have your back, not your wallet.
Why are we giving ads to an attorney in Pittsburgh?
A law firm, Andrew, in Pittsburgh.
Oh, my God.
It's law firm of Shenderovich.
Dude, shut up, Matt. 15 seconds to go on the power play, 9:15 to go in the second period. Puck goes all the way back into KSU zone where Berezynski will retreat to gather this one. Berezynski behind his own goaltender, backhands it off the boards for the immediate control of Alabama Huntsville, and a shot in front is stick aside by Berezynski before it can reach Thurston, and a rebound shot put on goal and stopped easily by Luke Thurston just as the power play expires, and we are back to full-strength hockey.
I'll tell you what, that was a neat little move there from Thurston. Popped it up off of his stick to himself.
I'll say it's rare to see full-strength hockey in this game tonight.
Absolutely. The ice looks so crowded.
Drew Spysinski on this face-off wins it cleanly to Gagne, but not before a Charger gets back first. Gagne sandwiches a man to the boards and gives it on over to Wes Davis. Davis, in a scrum in the corner, eventually feathers it on over to Bright, and Bright gives it on right back. Backhanded all the way to the opposite side corner, still in the KSU zone for the Chargers, and just out of the reach of Deere as it's popped up in the air off of a deflection, gloved down by Bright, and he will take control. Bright moves steadily on into the Chargers zone. Pass in front is skated on back to Bright off of the skate of Spicinski, and now Davis will throw a centering pass to Deere. Deere to Spicinski. Spicinski lets one go and is caught by Alex Reichel.
Good reactions from Reichel there. Spicinski sent a heat-seeking missile onto that net. Just couldn't find the back of it.
That was by Spicinski, one of the hardest shooters on the team, so that had some steam on him. I'm surprised he's able to track that.
That one was cooking, sizzling. It had a little bit of that paprika.
8:24 left to go in the second period. Still full-strength hockey. We'll see how long that lasts as the Chargers win this face-off. The Chargers off the boards and is retreated back into the zone and collected by Evan Deere. Deere up the boards to Gagne. Nearly misses a hit there. And it's controlled by Deere moving up the blue line. Deere centering pass to Gagne. Gagne almost lets one go. Gets tangled up in a stick.
Penalty here will
And
be
we have a
assessed
penalty.
against University of Alabama Huntsville. Maybe slashing? I
Wait for the call.
didn't see the
Stare
call.
down the ref. Let's see what we
Stare
got.
down. I'm going to zoom in on the ref. I got nothing. I got nothing on that one, dude.
Well, power play for KSU for the next 2 minutes. Like I said, I didn't expect that full strength to last long. 8:02 left to go in the second period. Score is still 3-1, as it is Drew Spicinski that comes in fresh off the bench to handle this faceoff. Chargers win.
Wow, that was
straight
awesome.
into the
Did you
glove
see that?
of a waiting Reichel. 2 seconds ran off the clock there.
That was so cool.
And a face-off from the same circle. All right, the rematch. Here we go. Spicinski takes this one back to the point for Berezinski. On down over to Gagne. Gagne centering pass. No, that was Berezinski back to Gagne. Gagne, the Testino, almost leaks in, but no, it's stopped by Reichel off of the backhanded shot from Spicinski. Tell you, Berezinski put that just off of Reichel. Just off of the pads of Reichel, and it almost leaked in. Spicinski came over to help. And no, Reichel was on that. Matt, are you okay?
I'm laughing at 2 minutes for paprika. I'm sorry.
That was a good one. Gagne, a slap shot off the face-off is covered up once again by Reichel. Matt, I'm gonna just start saying paprika jokes to you for the rest of our lives.
That was so
For the rest of our lives, that's what I'm gonna say to you.
Oh, I was not prepared to see that in chat.
That was good. Drew Spicinski on the face-off once again. Won by the Chargers and thrown all the way back to KSU zone where Luke Thurston will collect this one. Thurston hands it over to his good friend Tristan Gagne, who plays it onto the trapezoid and throws it up at Testino just a bit out of reach, controlled by the Chargers. 1:25 left to go on the power play for KSU. 7:25 left to go in the period, as now Berezinski has it and gives it on over to Gagne in KSU zone. Gagne up ice to McDonald, backhands it off the boards to Tisdale. Tisdale takes it himself over the blue line, drops it off for Testino, and a hard shot off the pads of an Alabama Huntsville defenseman. Behind the net now, that's where KSU likes to start their offense, as now Vandekerkhoff has it at the high point.
Comes over the glass there. Vandekerkhoff was like, hey, you know what? I'll just take this puck right here.
Came over
Thank
the
you.
glass? It's a long climb.
The boards, dude. You know what I meant. He changed in.
Hey, you get me for that, so I'm going to get it right back to you.
You know what? Fair play.
Berezinski now, back in KSU zone. 45 seconds to go on the power play. One half of the Berezinski brothers throws it all the way up the ice, just out of the reach of Bright. And now Vandekerkhoff kicks it on down to center ice. Vandekerkhoff moving steadily in the Chargers zone. Vandekerkhoff all the way over to a fresh Davis, and he throws it just past the left post. Deere. Nice little move. Gives it on back to McDonald in the corner. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Ian McDonald gives it over to Deere. Deere to the point for Vandekerkhoff. Lets a shot go off of the blocker of Reichel. Scrum in the corner now. McDonald's the one that comes up with it. Gives it on over to Davis. Davis back to McDonald, and McDonald scores! The old give and go. McDonald to Davis, back to McDonald, and the score is 4-1 with 6 seconds left to go on the power play. KSU increases the lead to 3.
And that takes 6 seconds off of the power play, Andrew, as it, obviously negates that power play. But, oh my goodness, Ian McDonald, 2 assists already in this game, finally picks up one for himself. Kennesaw State starting to run away with it if University of Alabama Huntsville can't find some responses here late in this second period.
We'll see if they can, as an attempted shot or a dump into the Chargers zone goes up into the KSU bench, and McDonald almost took one of the chops there after scoring that goal. Nice little present there.
Luckily, they have face masks.
Yeah, the full cage. College rules. Tisdale on the face-off, wins it barely, gives it back to Moran as Barnett plays some hacky sack there with his stick, and he eventually shakes off a check. Barnett, a shot on goal, rebound in front is stick to the corner there by Reichel.
That was an absolute beautiful piece of battling there from, was it Barnett, I believe?
Ooh, okay, so the puck went down to the KSU zone. A Charger was going in for it first. And, hey, I'll give that to the Chargers. That was not an icing. They were there first.
I got to be honest, that was
not an icing.
Yikes.
So, I would that wasn't an icing. I'm man enough to know when the refs are wrong, I hope. So, they recognize their mistake and bring it to the neutral zone face-off.
Yeah.
Tisdale takes this one, but it's the Chargers that end up with it. The Chargers move on over to KSU zone, and a shot sticked away by Bright and eventually leaks through to Thurston, who gloves it away. Moran up to Tisdale. Tisdale with speed over the blue line. Puts a shot on goal, is blockered aside there by Reichel, and the puck is thrown up into the mesh for a stoppage in play. 5:25 to go in the second. Hey, Tisdale and Barnett with some speed up ice. They put some pressure there on Reichel, but he has, for all the shots he's stopped, they've been pretty good saves, and that was no different. James Barrett coming in for this faceoff, and it is Matt Butler that collects it, but not before Barrett comes back to the corner. Butler behind the net. KSU putting out their third and fourth line, as now the Chargers control. 5:10 to go in the period as the Chargers put it to center ice. Nearly an offsides there by KSU, but they just managed to dodge the puck enough for the Chargers to come back in. Musgrave with the steal. Backhands it on over to Davis. Nearly lost it, but Davis wraps around and controls. Davis lobs it up the center ice and back to the possession of the Chargers. A pass goes all the way over, attempted for number 17 on the Chargers as he loses an edge and tumbles down to the ice as Davis puts the puck off of a referee and into the KSU bench.
These darn referees always getting in the way. We need holographic referees. We just project them down onto the ice to be extra annoying as per the usual.
Matt, you're an electrical engineer. Why don't you get on that?
You know what? I don't think I'm going to do that.
Why not? I'm sure the NHL would pay you for that.
I'm sure they wouldn't.
They might. Face off won by the Chargers. A breakaway here. Thurston comes out of his cage, and a nice move in front. And the Chargers score on the 2-on-1 breakaway, and the score is now 4-2.
4-2, Andrew. There's not much you can do off of a clean face-off win like that. That one was difficult.
And Thurston had to play that one safe because it was 2-on-0 instead of the usual 1-on-1. So he was trying to play it safe and just got beat glove side.
Happens to the best of us. I remember the last time I got beat glove side, Andrew.
When was that? Was it in the basement when we played hockey?
Yep, that was the back in the war, during the war.
All right. Berezinski comes in, a shot on goal, turned aside by Reichel. And we'll have an offensive zone faceoff. KSU brings their starting line back out. And
this one isn't all sunshine and roses.
Yeah, as McDonald comes in for this faceoff. McDonald barely wins this one, but Vanderkerkhoff manages to get a stick on it. Vanderkerkhoff dodges the defender there, goes over to the circle, gives it on Vanderkerkhoff, a centering pass in front for Testino as it goes just wide left. Berezinski, a shot deflected twice and ends up over top of Reichel and in the corner for Testino. Testino backhands it over to McDonald, who throws it up, attempted centering pass for Testino, but goes to Berezinski instead, who puts a point-blank slap shot on goal, and it's trapped by Reichel.
Kennesaw State, immediately with these lines back out, is applying the pressure once more in the offensive zone. If they keep that up, then I'll tell you what, it's only a matter of time.
Well, I got, what was it? Did they get 3 goals this period?
3 goals this
Yeah,
period.
3 goals this period. We came in 1-1 tie. Starting to lose my memory as Evan Deere takes his face off.
Happens with age, Andrew.
It does. I'm sorry to say. As now the Chargers move up ice, and he is hounded by 2 KSU Owls, but sends it in to the stick of Luke Thurston. Thurston gives it on to Berezinski, plays it up and off the glass, and now Spycinski tries to chase this one down. Spycinski cannot get there in time, and we will have an icing. And that's coming all the way back to the KSU zone, where the Chargers will have an offensive zone faceoff. 3:42 left to go in the second period as Alabama Huntsville gets some fresh legs on the ice. Drew Spycinski comes in for the faceoff. Wins it cleanly, but cannot tap it out quick enough. And now it's controlled by the Chargers, but not before Spycinski gets a little bit physical and takes control himself. Berezinski moving up ice. Around the right side circle, back behind Reichel. Around the boards where we'll go to Bright. Bright to the point for Berezinski, puts a slap shot through traffic.
Wow, good shot
Almost
there.
in.
Berezinski with a snipe. That was gorgeous.
Looks like the Met got dislodged a little bit, so there'll be a stoppage in play.
3 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in this second period. Kennesaw State Fighting Owls still up 4-2. We still got another electrifying period followed by, quite possibly, one of my most anticipated second games of a series. Coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m. It's a little bit later than your usual Saturday game, but we will be right here at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
5 p.m. Oh, shot from the point off the post by Tristan Gagne. Now it's for Aaron Tisdale behind the net. 2 Chargers shoving Moran down to the ice behind the play. And now it's controlled behind the net there and sent on back to Chargers possession. The Chargers moving up ice. Now Moran getting some payback. No penalty called as now Bright goes a check. I was just going to say the physicality has died down. And then about 4 or 5 solid checks for both teams, and we're right back to where we started.
Andrew, just when you think it's died down, just when you think it's died down, that happens. It's almost like they planned it like that.
Little hip check there by Bright, and now there's a stoppage in play.
Give me one moment, Andrew. I have dislodged my own headphones.
I'm going to fix that. And now we have a penalty on Kennesaw State. That will be on Musgrave as he heads to the box. So 2:32 left to go in the second period, and the Chargers will have the man advantage all the way down to the 30-second mark.
The 32-second mark.
Thanks for that, Matt.
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
Ian McDonald takes his face off in his own zone and wins it. Gagne plays it on back behind Thurston and just wrap around the boards. Shrugs off a check there, makes a man lose his stick, as now it is Vanderkerkhoff that tries to play it. Vanderkerkhoff backhands to McDonald. McDonald known for his speed. Here he goes. Ian McDonald gets tripped up on the play, and we have a penalty. Tripping on the breakaway.
Wow, Ian McDonald was off to the races there. There's not much you can do when you have Ian McDonald making a fast break like that.
And so he probably has one of, if not the fastest 40 time on the team. So when he gets the puck in the open ice, he's long gone.
I think I have one of the fastest 40 times, Andrew.
On the ice?
No, I meant drinking a 40 ounce. I can do it the fastest. Thank you for walking right into that one, sir.
I'm gonna just play that off like it didn't happen.
Andrew sitting down now with his face covered by his hand.
I don't know what else to expect from you, Matt.
And that's 2 penalties being assessed to University of Alabama Huntsville for a 1-man advantage for Kennesaw State to bring us to 10 seconds left in the period. 2 minutes even now left in the second period of play. It hasn't died down one bit, Andrew. I don't know what we were so worried about.
Don't know. As a pass over to Wes Davis, he cannot get all of his stick on that. And now it's in the corner. And eventually the high point for Vanderkerkhoff. 4-on-3 hockey. Back down to Ian McDonald. McDonald makes a man fall down. And now McDonald back in the trapezoid. Pass up top for Gagne. Gagne puts a wrist shot on goal.
Wow.
Is patted away there.
He nutmegged him. Sent it straight through the 5-hole of the defender.
Gagne with the puck again, throws it off the chest of Reichel this time. Reichel with 2 early saves on Gagne. Wes Davis now backhands it over to Gagne. One more time. No, he passes on over to Vanderkerkhoff. Backhand punched away by Reichel.
Vanderkerkhoff just dying to get this final goal here.
Centering pass for Gagne. Cannot get all of his stick on it, and it lazily goes in front and dove on there by Reichel.
1 minute and 17 seconds left to play here in the second period. 1:08 left on the pair of penalties assessed to University of Alabama Huntsville, and 46 seconds until we have some 5-on-3.
In KSU's favor, I'll tell you, Reichel was on his game right there as Vanderkerkhoff came in hot through the middle, put a backhand on goal, and he didn't even try to catch that. He just punched it straight out of the air to the corner. Deer now in the circle. Pass over to Testino, and it's thrown back to the corner for Deer. Testino loses control off of a skate of a Charger, and Testino still fighting for possession behind the cage, and it is Evan Deer that comes and lends a hand. Evan Deer to the point for Berezinski. Berezinski back to Deer. A slap shot. No, it's a pass redirected. And we have a stoppage in play.
So close there, Evan Deer. Oh, my goodness.
53 seconds left to go in the second period. 22 on the penalty for KSU before we have a two-man advantage. Aaron Tisdale coming in for this faceoff. Referee checking to see if Reichel's equipment's in order. And now it is Evan Deer that ends up with it on the boards. Evan Deer takes control. Backhands it to Berezinski. A slap shot hits the leg of Reichel, and now it's controlled at the point by Berezinski once again. Berezinski to Tisdale at the left side circle. Poked away there by one of the Chargers defensemen. And now Tisdale has it again, loses control, and it scoots on out of the zone. First penalty expires. Kennesaw with the two-man advantage for 20 seconds. 28 to go in the period. Testino. Up ice there for Tisdale. Backhand stopped by Alex Reichel once again.
13 seconds of 5-on-3 to play, Andrew, and 23.1 left to play in this here second period. Also, I agree. This Gagne fellow, I think he's doing quite swell so far this game, wouldn't you say?
This Gagne character. Who's he? 13 seconds left to go on the 5-on-3. 23.1 to go in the period.
On the power play, his slap shots are like a pickaxe, just slowly grinding away at the opponent goaltender until something actually falls through.
I don't know about today, as Reichel's been on his game on this power play, as now a blast from Berezinski's punched away. Power play expires. Back to full-strength hockey. A pass over to Gagne. Another slap shot. Just stopped by Reichel. Battered in front, and the goal is knocked off of its mount right there. Forgot the word for a second. The word is mount.
My goodness, and now we just have a little pile-up of no extracurricular activity, but just a pile-up here in front of the Chargers' goal.
Reichel doing everything in his power to stop those rebounds from going in, and he saved every single one of them.
It was very impressive. 5.2 seconds left to play here in the second period, Andrew.
Score still 4-2. Spysinski takes this one. Thrown over to Gagne. A bouncing puck put on goal. Caught by Reichel once again.
1.9 seconds left to play in the second period, Andrew.
And the same face-off in the right side circle.
I love it.
Sound like we're just on repeat right now.
I'm a broken record.
Spysinski in on the face-off. 3 men in front for KSU. Chargers throw this one to the boards. And that will do it for the second period of action. A lot of physicality, a lot of scoring. As that will bring us to a fresh 20 for the third period, and we will see how this wraps up. And the conclusion of this game 1 of 2 here in Marietta, Georgia.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back momentarily. Don't go anywhere. You know for a fact that this third period is going to be electric. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the beautiful Marietta Ice Center here in Marietta, Georgia. We are back with the third period of action of the first game of a two-game series between your Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers. Andrew,
that was
my golly goodness.
Yes. Was there anything more to that?
No, I'm just going to say my golly goodness.
Okay, that was a mouthful. I'm surprised you got through that. What was it? Third period of the first game of a two-game series. That was a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. I did math
Look
once.
at you with once. Hey, I did math once. One class. That's all it took.
We have some lovely guys and gals in the chat saying that they appreciate what we're doing, Andrew, and that they like our streams. We like you being here.
Love doing it.
We like you being here.
It's a great pastime. As Drew
It's just a darn shame that we can't keep doing it, Andrew.
I know. Hey, we'll get to that at the last game of the series, or last game of the season.
Yes, indeed.
Drew Spicinski comes in for the face-off. The Chargers take this one, play it back in their own zone, and that puck is absolutely flying across the rink on that freshly Zambonied ice.
Nice.
Thanks for the input. As now it's given on back to Bright and tapped on to Spicinski. Spicinski, a slap shot off the knee of a Alabama Huntsville Charger. Now Spicinski with a hit to the boards. That is Berezinski gives it to his brother, his own flesh and blood. And now it's tapped back in by Spicinski and twisted around back out of the zone for Berezinski. Berezinski overskates it just a bit, taps it to the boards to himself, and gives it on over to his brother. Berezinski up the neutral ice, flies across the zone, and the Chargers get there first. That will be an icing.
Coming all the way back into the Kennesaw State zone, Andrew.
I almost sat on a donut box.
That would have been
uncomfortable.
Sticky. Nice throw.
Perfect throw.
Ladies
Look at
and
that.
gentlemen, Andrew Leonard, the quarterback of the Kennesaw State football team, just threw a Krispy Kreme donut
Hey,
box.
I'm no Chandler Burks. He's great.
The full donut box, the full dozen, not the half dozen, the full dozen box, all the way across our little broadcast space, beautifully onto a table.
Okay, we're not commentating me. We're commentating the KSU Owls on ice. As now the Chargers
The production.
throw a centering pass, and it's intercepted by Berezinski. Berezinski, neutral zone, into the Chargers zone, skates by himself to the left side circle, twisted on back around to the stick of McDonald. McDonald passes on into Testino behind the cage. Testino gets the puck stripped from him, and the Chargers take control. Vanakerkov presses a man against the boards, and now Berezinski throws it back to the left side corner of the Chargers zone. University of Alabama Huntsville take it behind their own goaltender. And now they have it on the left side board. The centering pass is stolen by Testino, throws it over to the stick of Vanakerkov. Vanakerkov goes between his legs and cannot get to McDonald. A backhanded pass there by Testino is stopped cold by two defensemen. Kept in the zone by Vanakerkov. Vanakerkov on up to McDonald. McDonald, a shot on goal, is stopped by Reichel. McDonald behind the net. Attempted centering pass is walled off there by some defensemen. And back to the point for West Davis. Bright on the other side of the point. Back to Davis. To Vanakerkov. Left side circle, a shot off the shoulder of Reichel. And out of Testino. 17:58 left to go in the third period as Testino backhands a shot on goal and scores! John Testino takes it himself to the center of the ice and puts a backhander glove side to extend this lead back to 4-3. I can do math. The lead's at 3.
Counting extraordinaire, Andrew
Wow.
Leonard. Let him do your taxes, everyone.
Listen, I took one class of math my freshman year, and that's all that's needed for my curriculum. So I am done with that, but I can still count, hopefully.
I was about to say, are you sure?
John Testino with the goal with 17:53 left to go in the third period.
Andrew, you'd say that was 2 minutes and 7 seconds into the third period if you were writing this one down on the score sheet.
Puck dumped back into the Chargers zone. Wrapped around there by Tisdale. Puts a shot just past the left side post as Reichel freezes this one. Offensive zone faceoff for KSU with 17:37 left to go. Score is now 5-2. Aaron Tisdale coming in for the
Funky here in
faceoff.
the Marietta Ice Center.
This DJ has the right playlist as the puck is tipped all the way back down to the KSU zone, chased at by Bright, and eventually sent to the corner of the KSU zone. Tisdale comes up to intercept, but it gets to the stick of Bright instead. Tisdale cannot play it and ends up back in control of Bright. Bright, a pass all the way up to Barnett. Into the Chargers zone, can't get there in time, and it's poked back along for the possession of the Chargers. Alabama Huntsville. A pass up the neutral ice where it's played by Hayes. Skates on into the zone. Takes it up the right side circle. Hayes, a backhanded shot on goal is turned away there by Reichel.
Beautiful piece of stick handling there.
Tisdale moves in, speaking of stick handling, and is wrapped up by a couple defensemen. And now it is the Chargers with possession in the corner. Gagne plays the puck from the seat of his pants and throws it back behind Reichel. The Chargers now with possession. Moving up ice off the skate of Gagne and into the KSU zone for Berezinski. Berezinski on over to Testino. Excuse me, that is Butler. I saw a 20. Off the glass there by Gagne, over to Barrett. Barrett moves in, gives it on over to Musgrave. Musgrave to Butler. Behind the goaltender now is Butler, loses control, and it's the Chargers that move it up, but not before it can be kept in by Gagne. A wrist shot by Gagne is stopped in front before it can reach the goaltender. Puck bounces over the stick of Berezinski as he's in a foot race now to go get it and wins it. Berezinski wraps around Luke Thurston, drops it off for Gagne.
Let me tell you, that's a quick one, that Berezinski. Quick one.
We've got a lot of speedsters on the ice for KSU with 15:53 left to go in the third period, and the puck is still in the KSU zone where it's controlled by Musgrave. Colby Musgrave shoves off a check there and thrown in to the Chargers zone. University of Alabama Huntsville, turnover in their zone by Vandekerkhoff. Gives it over to Musgrave. Musgrave from the right side circle, a shot on goal into the chest of Alex Reichel.
Kennesaw State back on the offensive once again.
They've been there the entire third period so far with 15:32 left to go. Face-off now is Ian McDonald on the right side circle. McDonald wins this one cleanly. Back to the stick of Vandekerkhoff. A pass in front to Testino. Can't get control of it. And it is tipped out by a Charger, but control of Berezinski instead. Off the glass to Bright. Bright, a pass deflected and almost put in. And it sends over to Berezinski. And eventually McDonald in the corner who gets checked and cannot play it, but he gets it anyway. A backhanded shot up and over top of Reichel. Controlled by Vandekerkhoff behind the cage. Vandekerkhoff to McDonald. A little bit of a role reversal there from the first two goals of the game. And now it's the Chargers that move up. Alabama Huntsville loses control, and now it's Testino that played it back to neutral ice. And the Chargers now back in their own zone. In neutral territory, goes back into their own zone to settle it down. Oh. Testino sends a man to the ice for an open ice check right there.
That was interesting.
And now it's Berezinski in his own zone. Berezinski behind Luke Thurston. A hard pass off the glass, but took a weird bounce and cannot get there instead, but it's kicked out to Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff, a slap shot from the center and sent to the corner. Vandekerkhoff gives it on over to Berezinski and off the glass in the Chargers' possession. The Chargers now almost checked there by Vandekerkhoff, but he dances neatly away, and now Spicinski has it neutral ice. Spicinski carries it into the zone. A wrist shot stopped by the chest of Reichel once again.
Good opportunity there for Spicinski coming up with the puck. Very fast, very strong, and all-around fantastic athlete, Andrew. And just couldn't find the back of the net once again.
But he's been putting some shots on goal tonight. There's no question about that.
Yes, indeed he has.
Reichel making sure his equipment's all right, getting a drink of water, as now Spicinski comes in for the faceoff. Spicinski wins it off of the leg of the referee, and back to Gagne. Gagne waiting patiently. Sends it on over to Davis. Davis sends it right back to Gagne. Gagne, a wrist shot from the point off the thigh of a Charger and bounces back to neutral ice for Wes Davis.
That's kind of smart, Andrew. I've seen some stingers in my day, and that does not look very
That's
nice.
One of them. Puck goes all the way back down. Deer gets there first, negates the icing, and gives it on over to Spicinski. A shot tipped in front by Bright and sent wide. Gagne collects in the corner. Gagne now behind the cage. With some stick handling of his own. Now a scrum controlled by Bright. A pass up to the point for Deer. Deer lets a wrist shot go, but it is tipped before it can get to the goaltender, losing all of its steam.
And we have a stoppage in play?
Yes, the net got dislodged. So
as per the usual.
That will be an offensive zone faceoff for KSU, as both teams get some fresh legs on the ice. 13:27 left to go in the third period. Score is still 5-2 in Kennesaw's favor.
Kennesaw State looking to send a message before they go into the second game tomorrow.
See if they can pile on any more goals. Aaron Tisdale coming for the faceoff. Chargers take possession. Flopped up in the air, and Tisdale tries to gather it, but not before kicking it to himself all the way back to neutral ice, where he will send it on over to Wes Davis. Davis, who has 1 assist tonight, moves up and over the neutral ice. Davis, with some speed into the Chargers zone, but throws it off of a stick and into the mesh. I'll tell you, Vanakurkov still on that hat trick watch since the first period. Hopefully he can change that with 13:08 left to go.
Hopefully he can go from hat trick watch to hat trick squad, Andrew.
You can have a throw it like a party for the hat trick squad at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Puck stolen there by the Chargers as they move up ice. Berezinski's back and knocks him cleanly off of the puck.
3 Kennesaw defenders converge on that one in record time, Andrew. They have tremendous foot speed.
We've been seeing that a lot tonight as the puck is put off the outside of the cage and eventually controlled by Berezinski. Berezinski taking some whacks from a stick there and loses control back to the Chargers. A long shot is put on goal, and Luke Thurston traps it under his knee and gives it on back to Berezinski. Berezinski to Barnett, who cannot play the pass, and eventually sent to neutral ice. The center of KSU zone, and now Berezinski will blast it around the boards for the Chargers. The Chargers now give it right back to Berezinski, knocked out of the air there by Moran. And the Chargers move into the center of the KSU zone. Some nice stick handling there, but wrapped up there by Berezinski and eventually Barnett. Barnett, neutral ice, flops it on into Tisdale, and controlled by the Chargers, who has a nice sheet of open ice in front of him. A slap shot from the point. Off the skate. Luke Thurston barely stretches enough to make that save, but he was doing splits and warm-up, so I don't question his flexibility as Tisdale comes back to negate the icing. Tisdale tries to kick it to himself as Musgrave comes in to lend a hand, but the Chargers get there first. A pass to neutral ice intercepted by Davis. Davis to Butler. Butler backhands it to the corner for himself. Tries to chase it down, but cannot get there in time. Musgrave comes in, overplays the puck. Now it's controlled once again by Chargers, who turn it over to Davis again at the face-off circle.
It's a never-ending cycle, Andrew.
Wes Davis playing center field back there, just catching every puck that goes his way. And now we have a 3-on-2 for the Chargers.
Just a little too much mustard on that pass there, Andrew. Otherwise would have been a wide-open look for Alabama Huntsville.
Yes, it would, as now Musgrave gives it on over to Barrett. Barrett, across the blue line, puts a shot on goal over the crossbar and off of the glass.
That one was cooking.
Wes Davis now back to Musgrave over the blue line. Musgrave plays it around the boards. Barrett tries to retrieve, but can't get there in time. And now it's Vanakurkov. Takes a shot high, and it is flopped over the glass. Vanakurkov and the number 9. Both number 9s going at it for both teams. Have a little exchange after the fact.
It's a battle to determine who is the superior number 9. I'm going to go with the one with 2 goals in the first period. Probably the superior number 9.
2 goals in the first period, Jeremy Vanakurkov. And now it's Ian McDonald on the faceoff. Tries to get it over to Vanakurkov, but it's intercepted by the Chargers and thrown back to neutral ice for control by Bright. McDonald catches the puck between his legs, gives it up to Davis. Davis left side circle between his legs to Vanakurkov. A blast goes high into the mesh for another offensive zone faceoff. 10:48 to go in the third period. Score is still the same as when we left it. And KSU will try to tally another score here if they can win the faceoff. Ian McDonald in on this one. Wins it cleanly back to the stick of Vanakurkov off the glass for McDonald. McDonald turns on a dime, puts it off the glass for Davis. Davis back to McDonald. Back to Davis. Playing catch. And now it's over across the ice to Bright. A wrist shot in front is stopped by the skate of Testino. Trying to get some traffic in front. Now it is Wes Davis back in the KSU zone. Controls in the corner. Loses an edge there and collapses into the boards. Hope he's all right. And now it's Bright getting up. Bright. Neutral ice. Dumps it on and off of the referee's skate to himself. And now Bright, center pass to Testino. Puts it on goal and into the chest of Alex Reichel once again.
Oh, my goodness, Andrew. That was a close one.
10:10 to go in the third period.
It's 10-10. Make a kind of wish. I guess.
Does that count for game clocks?
I don't think it does, to be honest with you. But I'm going to say yes, it does. Because this game's magical anyway.
Oh, my God. I hate everything about you.
Oh, yeah.
Puck thrown high into the air, controlled by Deere and stopped by Gagne before it can be cleared to the zone. Back to Spysinski. Spysinski, a shot off the pad of Reichel, who lays on top of it once again for another offensive zone face-off.
Kennesaw State going to keep this pressure up until the end of time, apparently.
Spysinski in all this face-off. The Chargers fight tooth and nail for this one, but it goes to the stick of Deer. Deer, a backhander. Not much velocity on that, as it's covered up by Reichel once again for another offensive zone face-off, the third in a matter of seconds.
Couldn't get a whole lot on that one was Deer, and he came off of that stoppage smiling. He knew that had he gotten all of that one, it would have buried it.
Spysinski wins the face-off. A pass across the blue paint ends up in the possession of the Chargers as they push up to neutral ice. A check there by Deer, and now it's Gagne behind Luke Thurston. Gagne shuffles it on over there to Berezinski, who plays it up the boards to Evan Deer. Deer attempts to backhand to neutral ice, and it's collected by McDonald.
Wow.
Oh, no, that's Bright coming out of nowhere.
Looking like McDonald with all that speed, am I
Looking
right?
like McDonald. That's why I thought it was him. Centering pass for Deer. Attempts a backhand, but realizes he doesn't have an angle, pulls it back. All the way to Gagne, a slap shot from the point as someone landed on the back of Spysinski as he couldn't make a deflection. And now it is the Chargers that try to gain possession. But not before Deer disrupts it, and it's kept into the zone by Berezinski, who's thrown around the boards, where Tisdale will chase this one down. Tisdale cannot get there in time, and it's the Chargers that take possession. A man losing an edge there as they make the push up the neutral ice and into the KSU zone for Gagne. Gagne shifts it on over to Berezinski, who throws it up to Moran. A scrum there on the blue line for the puck, and it's controlled by Hayes. Hayes backhands it off the boards there for Berezinski and controlled back by Hayes. Turnover in the neutral zone, but before it can be played on, it's collected by Moran. Gagne waiting patiently with 8:30 left to go in the third period. Gagne and neutral ice crosses the blue line. Moving in. Nice move there for Tristan Gagne. Tries the wrap around. No, a centering pass for Moran. Controlled by Tisdale. A shot put past the left post. And ends up on the boards.
Just barely wide of the net there. Bet he wishes he had that one back.
Yes, he does, as a breakaway is shut down there by Berezinski. And now it's Tisdale. That controls with a little bit of breakaway of him by himself. Help from Haas. Cannot make a play on it. And Tisdale tries to gain it back, but cannot. The Chargers throw it up into the possession of Berezinski, who plays it back in his own zone in the circle. A pass off the boards for Bright. Tries to chase this one down. He gets there first, and an off-angle shot is popped high in the air off of Reichel and eventually set in front for possession by the Chargers. A pass far up in the KSU zone. The Chargers will get there first. Moves in on Thurston. A shot denied by Luke Thurston on somewhat of a breakaway. What was the call?
Penalty.
They call it a penalty? All right.
Against Kennesaw State.
Penalty on the miniature breakaway there. It is KSU that will send a man to the box, and that will be
Bright.
which Bright brother? That's Mason Bright going to the box for KSU. We got 2 Berezinskis and 2 Brights on this team, so the brothers are always in full effect whenever we call games. 7:37 to go in the third period. That is a fresh 2 minutes for University of Alabama Huntsville, as they will take the face-off in KSU's zone.
And I'll tell you what, if they want to dig themselves out late here, this is where they have to capitalize.
Alabama Huntsville, a shot put off the boards, and now it's Davis fighting for this one. Davis and Gagne wrapped up in a scrum, and Davis comes away with it. Wes Davis back taps to Gagne to kill some more time, and now Gagne has it behind his goaltender. Gagne spins around and throws it back for Wes Davis. His stick is trapped by a Charger right there, and it's turned over behind the cage. A centering pass is stopped by Luke Thurston, and now it's Vandekerkhoff, who throws it high off the glass, but controlled by the Chargers. A shot put on Thurston once again. It's off of his chest, high up off the glass, and now it's Gagne twisting back around, and we have a penalty on the Chargers.
That'll even it out for some more 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute and 17 seconds, with 6 minutes and 54 seconds remaining here in the final period of action between Kennesaw State and the University of Alabama Huntsville.
It looks like Gagne got held and spun around to the ice. So that's a fresh 2 minutes for KSU, and that will be 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute 17.
Just how we like it.
Before KSU gets that one-man advantage.
Oh, yeah.
6:54 on the game clock, as now it's Ian McDonald coming in to take this face-off for some fresh 4-on-4 hockey. McDonald takes this one, immediately gives it on over to Tessino, who throws a shot wide left. The Chargers with possession, turned over to Tessino. Testino to McDonald, McDonald back to Testino. A shot. He just missed the puck. He had a wide open net. But that pass had some steam on it from McDonald. Davis a slap shot between his legs, but popped up off of his skate to the glass. Back to Davis. Davis, another shot. I'll go off the post. And we have a stoppage in play as it comes off of its mount.
Oh, my goodness, Andrew. They are sending some absolute rockets on goal.
Captain Wes Davis with 3 chances in 1 possession. 1 wet 5-hole on Reichel, but it hit his skate and popped about 20 feet into the air, and no one can make a play on it. His next one off the right post. So he has some chances. He just can't bury it yet. Wes Davis already with an assist on the night. He's trying to tally a goal as well as Ian McDonald comes in for this faceoff. And the Chargers take possession, and we may have a 2-on-1 developing if Berezynski can't get back. The Chargers move in, and that is sticked away by Luke Thurston, who slams into his goal and knocks that one off of its pegs.
Kennesaw State just barely clinging to life on that one. That could have very easily been a quick goal for University of Alabama Huntsville, breathing, not a whole lot of life back into them at this point, but a decent amount, enough to bring them within 2.
Looks like they have some speedsters on their own team. It's not just Ian McDonald that we brought to the game. They brought some guys too.
Absolutely. They have been consistently even or slightly ahead in these foot races against Kennesaw State here.
Drew Spysinski coming in for this face-off in the neutral zone, and it leaks on back to Berezynski, but not before the Chargers can get there first. Alabama Huntsville with 35 seconds to go on this 4-on-4 before KSU gets their man advantage, just playing it safe in their own zone. Spysinski comes in on the forecheck, misses, and now they go up the blue line, and a check by Spysinski, and that will be a penalty as he hit him in the back. A shot on goal is collected by Thurston, and KSU will send another man to the box, and that will be Spysinski.
Yep, Spysinski will go to the box, and we will have a man advantage for University of Alabama Huntsville for another, oh my goodness.
It'll be a man advantage for
just 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so we're going to have a man advantage for 22 seconds.
You do the math. I'm bad at it. It's all you, Matt.
We have a man advantage for University of Alabama Huntsville for 22 more seconds, and then we will have a stretch of about 40 seconds of even strength, 4-on-4, and then we will have another little stretch of man advantage for Alabama Huntsville.
Tisdale trying to make this short-handed, moves in front, takes a check in the goal crease, and now Berezynski breaks up the pass there. Puck sent back in the neutral zone. The Chargers move up ice, looking for a man to pass it to, and they find one at the right side point. 4-on-3 hockey here, and a shot put on Thurston, ends up behind him, and in the net. And that will bring the score to 5-3. With 5:32 left to go in the third period as University of Alabama Huntsville gets another goal in the third period.
Bringing it within 2 with 5 minutes left to play, Andrew. 5 minutes and 32 seconds to be exact. But oh my goodness. My heart can't take it, Andrew.
This might turn into a game.
All right, we have a
This is all you. You got this.
39-second stint of 4-on-4 hockey, followed by... Oh, no, they're erasing that one as well. Never mind. Kennesaw State with a man advantage for 39 seconds. So there you go. Do with that what you will.
No, they're back to 4-on-4 hockey, I think. Yep, 4-on-4 hockey.
There's no penalty counter. There's no penalty timer.
Yeah, the ref's giving it to him for that right now.
Ah, perfect.
That's not our fault. That is the man in the booth. But hey, now there it is. So we have 39 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey before University of Alabama Huntsville gets another man advantage for the last minute or so. Wes Davis controls off of the face-off back in his own zone. KSU looking to make something happen in this brief 4-on-4 period as McDonald speeds up the ice.
Oh, my gosh, he's so fast.
Ian McDonald stops on a dime, gives it back to the point for Berezynski, who gives it right back to McDonald. McDonald spins around in the corner and throws it around the boards for Vandekerkhoff. Vandekerkhoff back out to the point for Berezynski. Berezynski off the skate of Davis, who collects it himself. And looking for a man to pass it to. Davis takes a slash, no call, and now Vandekerkhoff loses the puck, and the Chargers will move back on a 2-on-1. Gagne gets back in time, a shot across the mouth of the crease, but no. Another shot turned away by Luke Thurston, and now it is Gagne in the corner. First penalty expires. Alabama Huntsville has another power play for 34 seconds, as now it is Vandekerkhoff moving up the ice. Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff crosses the blue line to the right side circle. A shot on goal turned away by Reichel.
Oh, and a big collision there between Gagne and McLeod, it seems, for University of Alabama Huntsville.
Davis brings it back into his own zone. Into the Chargers zone, and it sends on back to the KSU zone for Evan Deer. 10 seconds to go on the man advantage as it's thrown the length of the ice by Deer, and that will bring us down to the end of the power play timer. We'll have some full-strength hockey as Bright comes back to forecheck.
4 minutes, or 3 minutes and 55 seconds, I should say, left to play in this final period, Andrew. It's crunch time for the Chargers if they want to get anything accomplished here.
Steal there by Spicinski, who tries the wraparound. A centering pass in front for Deer is stopped cold by a Charger. A pass in front to Bright, tipped just wide left of the net, and it's sent on back around the left side boards. Deer sends a man to the ice. We have another penalty on KSU. And that will be on Evan Deer this time as Alabama Huntsville gets a fresh 2 minutes.
McLeod. It's pronounced McLeod. That's nice. That's a nice name.
Okay. I'll leave that one to you.
You can also take a hit. My goodness. He actually stood that one up. That was like a brick wall. 2 minutes of a man advantage here for University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers.
That'll bring us down to 1:36 left in the game with this power play is all said and done. And the score 5-3, Alabama Huntsville inching ever closer to making this a tie game. Still got to get 2 goals, though.
Trying to get that late game magic.
It's like a third quarter comeback, but, it's third period instead. There's no quarters in hockey. Learned that at a young age. I think I got that one right.
Quarter
if
means
my
4,
math holds up.
Andrew. Yeah, absolutely. Quarter means 4.
Aaron Tisdale on the face-off wins this one back to Berezinski. Berezinski sends this one the length of the ice to kill some time, and it will be retrieved by Reichel.
Well, that's a good sign of how this power play is going to go.
Let's hope they can keep that up. Last power play didn't end so well for us.
You are not kidding.
Fanned on the pass there, and it's turned over neutral ice to Testino, who stops on a dime and enters the zone. Testino almost loses control again, but sends it on back into KSU zone for Bright to kill some more time. 1:30 left to go on this power play. 30 seconds already killed as Testino controls and neutral ice.
That was a really good trap with that pass there from Testino.
It was. As he moves around, sends a man off the outside of the cage, and now Testino has it behind the net. The Chargers with control. Moving up ice over the blue line in the neutral ice territory and back into KSU's side of the rink. A shot on goal just wide as Luke Thurston tried to make a play on it, but it was too wide anyway. Tisdale moves up the ice. It's a 1-on-2. There was a shot on goal off the shoulder of Reichel and ends up in the back of the cage as it popped up in the air there by a Charger and controlled in the trapezoid. Alabama Huntsville with 50 seconds left to go as Tisdale sends a man to the ice flat on his back, and Vanderkerkhoff comes up, and we have a stoppage in play. Offsides.
Oh, my goodness. A huge hit from Tisdale there.
That's what he does.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that one was... You could tell he was trying to send a message there. He was like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Nobody does this to my team and gets away with it.
Well, that message was received, and now there's 47 seconds left to go on the power play with 2:21 left to go in the third period as the Chargers win this faceoff.
It was received along with some Bear aspirin. Going to need it for that hit.
I'll stop at the CVS around the corner to get some of that. The Chargers now with control in the KSU zone. A scrum along the boards. Fought for by 4 players now. I can't see because the mesh is in the way. And it's eventually popped out and controlled by McDonald. McDonald up to Vanderkerkhoff. A 2-on-1 here. Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff puts a shot on goal. It's stopped by Reichel.
Like this. Why can't we have nice things, Andrew?
By nice things, I want a Jeremy Vanderkerkhoff hat trick, but it's just not going to happen. At least not on that possession. And now the power play is all but expired. Full strength hockey again. And 1:35 left to go in the third period. That was a shorthanded opportunity as well.
Yes, indeed.
Turnover in the Chargers zone is immediately picked up by the Chargers once again and sent out to the KSU side of the ice for Gagne. Gagne to Berezinski. Getting hounded there by a Charger Charger forward, and now it is Bright. Bright leaves it for Spicinski. Spicinski across the ice to Deer. Deer, centering pass for Spicinski. Goes between his legs, and now it's back tap to Gagne. Gagne, a long-range wrist shot off the skate of Spicinski and sent to the left side corner. Chargers get there first. Deer doing his best to disrupt, and does. Deer ends up with the puck in front of the net. Spicinski, it's poke checked there by Reichel. Great job there to stonewall Spicinski, and now there is 50 seconds left to go in the third period.
It has been an exciting one, Andrew, and I'll tell you what's going to be even more exciting is the follow-up. Game 2, Electric Boogaloo, between the Kennesaw State Fighting Owls and the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers tomorrow at 5 p.m. I will be there. Will you?
If I get out of bed in time, what's it, 5 o'clock? Yeah,
Yes, 5 o'clock p.m., Andrew.
that'll work.
Can you get out of bed by 5 o'clock p.m.?
I'll do my best.
I would really.
But first, there's 20 seconds left to go in the game.
Oh,
No.
my God!
Spicinski with a hard check to end the game, sending a message for tomorrow as now the Chargers end up with it in neutral territory.
That was WWE caliber. Ridiculous hit. Defying gravity.
And that will be the end of the game. The final score, your KSU Fighting Owls 5, the University of Alabama Huntsville Chargers 3. And like Matt said, the game will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m. right here at the Marietta Ice Center.
Don't miss it. I wouldn't miss it for the world, Andrew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for the thrilling conclusion to this series.